Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at QueenAhmadiyyah.Shakur. You can also follow the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. Hello, Emperor Rex, Terry. Terry says, love the music, very tranquil. Thank you, beloved. Hello, Robin, Aeon, Vivian, Nita's and Mike's World, Warrior Status, Mr. X005. All right, True Justice, Capricornus, Terry Hinton, Terry Brown Sugar, Melanin. Tracy, I see you. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, shout out to Aeon, my chief moderator. Okay, hello, Nicole. Judah Queen, 100% Rotten Podcast said, what up, though? You got it. Okay, so that all being said, let's get into it, people. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone who's tuned in to the Queen. Okay, so I told you all on the last broadcast, Desmond says, thank you, Queen, for this much-needed spiritual feeding. You're welcome, beloved, and thank you for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. Hello, Priscilla. I'm glad you're here too, beloved. And so listen, as I told you all on the other broadcast that we just completed, the spirituality and religion are not the same thing. Spirituality does not come from religion. It comes from the soul, from the inner self, from within you, right? We all have a soul and we all have a spirit. Spirituality is something you're born with. You have spirituality within you. It is your connection, your divine connection to the Most High universe, all right? The Most High is the entire universe. And so with that all being said, there's a difference. You see, religion entails a list of practices, regulations, rules, rituals, and things of that nature that were created by man and taught to us. And due to humans' imperfection, you know, the flaws that we all have, well, religion sadly has become, you know, divisive. It has become a power struggle, right? And spirituality, you don't have to learn theology, you know, to have spirituality. That's just something you inherently have, okay? Spirituality, like I said, links us to the Most High Creator. So with that all being said, I want to also tell you all something. Now, we all have 5 brain waves. Okay, you have alpha, beta, theta, gamma, right, delta. And so with these 5 brain waves, some of them move fast and some of them move slow. But here's the thing. They are measured, the frequency of them is measured by per second, cycles per second, also called hertz. So with that all being said, you know, when you're low vibrational, that's very taxing on your brain, also on your physical and mental health. Okay, so the spiritually engaged brain vibrates at the same frequency as the Earth's crust. Okay, that's because of the alpha brain wave. Alpha is the same frequency that's emitted from the Earth. So with that being said, when you have a spiritually engaged brain, you are vibrating at the same frequency as the Earth's crust. Okay, this is known as the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance. Okay, so with that all being said, let's talk about it, because at the end of the day, this is why I have talked to you all before about grounding yourselves. Grounding yourselves, because if you're spiritually in tune and you're in touch with the Most High Creator, and you have knowledge of self, and you're trying to raise your levels of consciousness and all these things, and then you want to ground yourself, because if your brain is vibrating at the same frequency as the earth's crust, then you need to be in tune with the earth. That will even more so raise the vibrations. That's why I tell you, walk through the grass bare feet. You can do it in your front yard, your backyard. You can do it at a park, right? Thank you, Mr. X005, for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings. You can do this outside. You know, that's why I tell you it's good to feel in tune and to be in tune with nature, to hug the trees, smell the flowers, sit in the morning and listen to the birds sing. All of these things are the vibrations of nature, and they lift your vibrations. These are God's own creations. We sometimes take these things for granted, but we should not. You should always pay attention to these things. It's very important. And you want to always keep your vibration in tune with the earth, right? And therefore in tune with the universe, okay? Another thing is, let's talk about depression, because we're in trying times right now. And I told you all on several occasions that this is in fact spiritual warfare that we're engaged in. And during spiritual warfare, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, right? They want to kill your spirit, destroy your dreams, and all of that, and steal your hope. So with that all being said, you have to put on the whole armor of God. You have to always make sure that you are protecting yourself and doing things to keep your mental intact. You should be eating healthy. It's very important that you eat healthy, because what some of us don't realize, you know, I've told you before that you are what you eat. That's literally the truth. You are what you eat. So if you eat a bunch of toxic foods, the things that are not healthy, if you're drinking up sodas and Kool-Aid and containing or intaking a lot of sugar, that's all low vibrational. If you haven't read a book that came out years ago, it's called Sugar Blues, because sugar will sometimes make you feel high, and then all of a sudden you crash. And then people have feelings of depression and things like that. So you have to be very cognizant of the things that you eat. We should be eating more fruits and vegetables and less meat. I know everyone can't be a vegan. Everyone doesn't want to go on a vegetarian diet. But at least when you fix your plate, have a smaller portion of meat and a larger portion of vegetables. You should eat things like fruits first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, because your body then absorbs the nutrients from the fruits a whole lot quicker, okay? And you should try to stay away from, you know, alcohol. You know, if you drink socially every now and then, okay, that's not really a problem. But let's not be drinking all the time, you know, on a regular basis. That's low vibrational. That's why they call liquor stores spirits, because they give off spirits. Another thing is, it's very important, you know, we know it's very important to eat healthy, but this raises your vibrations, and it's very beneficial for the brain and your thought patterns. You see, if you are eating a bunch of toxic food, then it's making the blood toxic, your body toxic, your mind toxic, your thoughts toxic. And this is how you get filled with negativity, right? That's how you become full of negativity. You have to eat healthy, and you have to speak life into yourself. I tell you all, say your affirmations, positive affirmations about yourself early in the morning when you first rise, at night before you go to sleep. Speak positivity into your children. Say a prayer over them before they leave for school in the mornings, right? Give them positive affirmations to start their day off, because how your day starts determines the flow of your day. You know how we say, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Well, if you wake up in a bad mood, your whole day could go downhill before it even gets started. You dictate the pattern of your day with your thoughts, the way you think. So always try to be warrior status at actual and factual. Thank you, beloved. King Legine checking in, okay? And so with that all being said, try to start your day off in the mornings. You know, if you are a person who eats breakfast, because a lot of people don't eat breakfast, right? A lot of people also think that they have to eat breakfast first thing in the morning. You don't have to eat breakfast first thing in the morning. You don't have to. If you wake up in the morning and you're hungry, okay, then you can eat breakfast. But if you know, some people like myself, I don't eat breakfast first thing in the morning. Okay, that's what I don't do. First thing I do in the morning is I get up, you know, get ready for my live streams, fix myself some herbal tea or organic coffee. I usually have herbal tea, but And I drink water in the morning. Before I even take my tea or coffee, I drink water in the morning to hydrate myself from overnight. And that's what we should all do, because pay attention, we are mostly composed of water. Okay. And so you should be taking water. Aeon said, just ate my oatmeal. Okay. King Legine said, likewise. Erie Blackfire said, I'm eating breakfast now. So good. So here's what I want you to remember. Terry Brown, Sugar Melanin says, wash out fruits and vegetables before you eat them, including watermelons. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very thoroughly. Okay. Now, when you do eat breakfast or the first meal of the day, it should be fruit. No matter what you're going to eat other than that, when you break your fast, that's why it's called breakfast, right? It's called breakfast because you wake up from having fasted overnight for 8 hours. Some of you sleep less than that. Well, let's say from 4 to 8 hours, you fasted during the night. So the first thing that you eat, that's when you're breaking the fast. So that's why we call it breakfast, just so you know. So when you decide to break the fast, you should consume, if you can. We can't always do it because sometimes you may be at work, you may be not at home or just anywhere out, you know, someone's house or whatever. But if you can, as often as you can, it's best to try to eat fruit when you break your fast. Try to eat fruit on an empty stomach. And then, you know, you can make a smoothie. I like to start my mornings off with a smoothie sometimes. The first thing I'm going to consume, of course, after I have my tea or whatever, I usually take a smoothie. And I'll give you a very good smoothie recipe that I like to have. It's a green smoothie. All right. I'm not going to say it's a green smoothie. It comes out green, but it's got different things in it. Okay. So I usually use organic baby spinach. I use like a handful. And then I'll use like maybe a half a cup of blueberries, right? I'll chop up some strawberries, maybe 4 or 5 nice sized strawberries. I'll chop those up and put in there. I'll put some organic cinnamon called Ceylon. Ceylon is the Ceylon. That's organic cinnamon. I put like a dash of that in there, a dash of turmeric, a dash of hemp powder, like a spoon of hemp powder, a scoop of chia seeds, right? Scoop of chia seeds. And then I put my almond milk in there. I'm trying to make sure I'm not leaving anything else. Oh, I put a banana. I'll put a banana in there sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I'll exchange the banana for an apple. Okay. And then if you're trying to get some extra protein, like if you're trying to gain weight, trying to get bulked up or whatever, then you can add peanut butter. Okay. As much peanut butter as you want, not too much, but I'm just saying like a scoop or 2 of peanut butter if you want extra protein. So Dark Skin Brother said, that sounds tasty, Queen. Trust me, it is. It is. That's one of my favorite smoothies. So that's just something you can get. It's quick. You know, you can start that off with your morning. Okay. And then, like I said, don't forget to have more vegetables on your plate than meat. That's just a healthy way to start out. Silent D says, anyone wants a watermelon banana berry blast? Making some now. Got a hint of ginger and butterfly pea sea moss. Okay. Sounds good, Silent D. Thank you for sharing that, beloved, and thank you for your contribution. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So, with that all being said, hey, Reggie, grand rising to you, beloved. Okay, so, you know, there's different smoothie recipes, and, you know, I was actually thinking about doing an ebook soon with different smoothie recipes in there that you can just start your morning off with just to get you going, because this energizes you. You know how sometimes you eat foods and then you feel tired afterwards, you feel lethargic? That's because those foods are likely toxic. Healthy foods energize you and they make you feel upbeat, you know what I'm saying, and on the go. That's why I love to have fruits in the morning, because in the mornings, sometimes we don't want to get out of bed. We may have had a rough night. We may have stayed up too late. And then you have to get up early. You just can't get yourself going. And a lot of people drink coffee to get themselves going. But rather than drinking coffee full of caffeine, what you can do is make yourself a smoothie, right? And then so you get going. So with that all being said, let's talk about the mental health. The mental health, because like I said before, we're in trying times. There's spiritual warfare going on, and we have to keep our mental health intact as much as we have to keep our physical health intact. And this all starts from the inside out. This all starts with us, okay? So you need to be trying to stay in a positive mindset. I know it's hard. There's a lot of negativity going on, but you have to try to stay focused on the positive things, on the positive aspects of things. You have to be doing spiritual practices. There are spiritual practices that you can do to help you get through the day, to help you get through emotional trauma, to help uplift the spirit. Because depression, many people may not know this, but depression is actually a disease. It's a disease. It absolutely is. Some people sink into depression and it's so difficult to get out. They start having all of these, thoughts of self-hate, insecurities, just all types of things. Everything bothers them. They're overly emotional. They just can't get through the day. You may have lost a loved one and you're grieving. You may have left a relationship that wasn't beneficial to you. I don't know who needs to hear this, but let me just say, if you're dealing with someone who isn't giving you the same amount of energy, love, compassion, encouragement, motivation that you're giving to them, you need to rethink your situation. You need to rethink your situation. If you have left a relationship and you still are pining for this person and you feel sad and lonely or discouraged, remember this: the Most High will sometimes remove people from our lives that don't need to be there. They may look good to you. It may feel good when you're around them. Sometimes or whatever, you may think this is the person for you, but sometimes they're not. And very often people get discouraged, when relationships don't go the right way and things are just not the way they want them to be. At the end of the day, what we need to start paying attention to is sometimes the Most High is trying to tell you something. The Most High is trying to say to you, look, this isn't the person for you. But so often we're caught up in what we want. We're not thinking about anything else. It's all about what we want. Now I want you to pay attention to something, because when people love, right? People love based on conditions. You know how we say unconditional love, but do we really love unconditionally? I'm going to tell you what most people do. Most people don't love unconditionally. Most people love with conditions. I love you under the condition that you give me what I want. I love you with the condition that you make me happy. I love you with the condition that you understand where I'm coming from. I love you with the condition that you don't date or go around with anyone other than me. I love you with the condition that you're here when I need you. People love with conditions. That's what most people do. Most people absolutely do not love unconditionally. They say that and they even think it. They're not lying when they say it because they really think it. But that's because they're misinformed. People love with conditions, okay? And so with that all being said, the first love that you should have is for yourself. You should always love yourself first. If you don't love yourself, it's very difficult to wholeheartedly love someone else. All right? Also, a lot of people make demands in relationships. They want things to go their way. It's my way or it's the highway. Or if you don't do what they say, they get an attitude. If you don't give them what they want, they're mad. They're not talking to you. Silent treatment. They want to leave the house. Let's just separate for a while. But at the end of the day, you have to give people the same energy they're giving you. The 48 laws of power. You have to sometimes be a reflection. Let people see what they do to you. Now, if someone is just being, inconsiderate, they don't want to compromise, they always want things to go their way. And let me tell you something. We all, in fact, want things to go our way. That's human nature, right? I was dating a guy once years ago, and he told me, he said, oh, you just want things to go your way. I said, of course I do. So do you. Everyone wants things to go their way. I said, but here's the difference. We all realize, if we have common sense, that things can't and won't always go our way. So when you're in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship, there's something called compromise. And the reason you have compromise is because you have to know and accept and understand that everything's not going to go your way. It's just not going to go your way every day, all day, and all the time. It's not. So you have to compromise. And the way to avoid confrontation and arguments and going back and forth is to be willing to compromise. That's just what you have to do. And it also shows that you're grateful to this person, that you respect them, and that you're being thoughtful, considerate, and kind. And so if you're being that way to someone, they should be doing the same to you. They should be returning that same energy to you. If they are not, then maybe you need to sit down and have a talk with them. After having that talk and you don't see any change, then you need to keep it pushing. Another thing is this. Sometimes people will say, Dragon Lily says, we have to teach children that. Sad, sometimes parents don't have it, so they don't give it to their children. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll talk about the children in a minute. But now, sometimes in relationships, people don't want to compromise. They want it to be all about them and all of that. And that's how you get, in toxic relationships. You have to be willing to do the work. Another thing is people say that you can't change people. I don't believe that. I believe you absolutely can change. Everything was meant to change. Everyone was meant to change. Nothing and no one stays the same. This is a fact. Are you the same person that you were in elementary school? Of course not. Are you the same person that you were in high school? Of course not. Are you the same person you were in college? Are you the same person you were 10 years ago? People are ever changing and ever evolving. So when people tell you you can't change someone, yes, you can. You absolutely can. And this is what you do. You don't just sit down and tell a person, oh, you need to change. I don't like this about you. I don't like that about you. That's not the way you do it. Now, see, that's not going to garner change. That's going to garner resentments and hostile feelings. Okay? That's what that's going to do. But rather than do that, start enlightening the person. For example, if you have someone that you're dealing with that smokes cigarettes, the reason I bring that up is because I don't like cigarettes and I don't like to be around anyone smoking them. Secondhand smoke is a killer. And second of all, the smoke smells horrendous and it's unhealthy. All right. And if you're addicted to nicotine, that lets me know you have an addictive personality. So with that all being said, what you can do is just tell them, about how smoking cigarettes lowers your vibrational frequency. We're trying to be high vibrational here. We're trying not to be toxic. It's not good for your lungs. It's not healthy for your body in general, especially not your brain. And you can just tell them some healthy things that they can do. You can try to talk to them, about the dangers of smoking. And they likely know this. I know people are addicted, so they're going to still want to smoke. But at the end of the day, just keep reiterating things to them, encouraging them, and teaching them new things. That's why I say each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. You can absolutely change people if they are willing to be receptive to the information you're giving. That's it. And it's not that you don't want someone to be themselves. We want people, or we should want people to be themselves and who they are authentically. But there's bad habits that we all should and can change. There's bad habits we all have. One of my bad habits is being late. How many times have you all been sitting in the chat waiting for the queen to come to the throne and I'm late? That's something that I need to change. And trust me, I'm working on it, right? But poor time management, that's one of my flaws. And so with that all being said, we all have some things that we can work on and improve and change. So with that all being said, there's nothing wrong with wanting someone to change. At the end of the day, all you really want them to do is evolve. Be the evolution that you want to see. So when you're telling someone else there's things that they need to fix, or there's the work that they need to do, understand and realize there's also work that you need to do. And so practice what you preach. As you can see their flaws, make sure you can see your own. Because here's the thing, narcissists, they don't see any flaws within themselves. They only see flaws in you. There was a person that I knew once. They would always be so quick to point out the shortcomings of others. Sad thing is, they didn't seem to know anything about the shortcomings that they themselves had. And so I would tell them, while you're critiquing people and you feel like you're giving constructive criticism, I said, sometimes your delivery is all wrong. Sometimes your delivery is all wrong. You're coming off as condescending, coming off as a bit arrogant. And people are not going to receive that. It's about the delivery. Remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if you talk to someone in a certain way, they'll be more receptive to intake the information. But if you come off as if you're badgering them, being condescending and putting them down, nobody wants to hear that. No one wants to be ridiculed, especially not for things about themselves that they feel like they can't help. But if you put your mind to it, you can help yourself. You can change these things. And so you have to be willing to do the work for yourself and be also at the same time trying to help other people do the work. Reggie says, practice what you preach. Thanks, Queen. You're welcome, beloved. Absolutely. Practice what you preach. You need to be motivational, inspirational, encouraging, not discouraging. And as it pertains to children, for those of you who have children or grandchildren, you need to be speaking positivity to them. You need to be having the conversations that I'm having with you. You need to be having them with them, but on a level to where they can understand and comprehend. Tell them to speak nice things to other children. Tell them to say nice things about themselves. Tell them to try to be, optimistic, right? Rather than being pessimistic. You know what I used to say? What I used to say all the time? See, first of all, I'm going to tell you like this. I have, for years, I was never a person who enjoyed working out. To me, going to the gym to work out was a chore. It was a chore. And I do it because I know that I needed to do it because it's healthy. You look better and all of that. But it was such a chore for me, right? Again, thanks for this, Queen. Much love. Thank you, Desmond, for your kind words and contribution. Peace, love, and blessings, beloved. Reggie says, speak life into ourselves. Absolutely. And into your children and loved ones. Now, for years, I did not like going to the gym. Sometimes I would just make excuses not to go. Well, I don't have time to go today because I've got to go to an appointment, or I've got time to do this. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm just full of crap. I am clearly full of crap because at the end of the day, I make time to do everything else. I make time to sit there and watch TV. I make time to sit there and look at videos. I make time to do a myriad of things so I can make time to go to the gym. That is a part of your physical and mental health. Whether you know it or not, it absolutely is a part of your mental health because when you look good, you feel good. That raises your vibration. If you have things about yourself, if you feel like you have too much weight or you don't weigh enough, you can work out, you can eat right, and you can get yourself to where you want to be. But as long as you just sit there and wallow in self-pity and just feel sorry for yourself and don't want to put in the effort to do the work, things are going to stay the same. And if things are not going to change, then why continue to complain about it if you're not going to do anything to fix it? So these are just some things that we have to remember and think about and be cognizant of. So what I used to do is I would say, oh, I hate going to the gym. Oh, I hate working out. I hate this. I hate that. But I realized, stop using the word hate. The word hate is a negative word. So every time I'm saying to myself, I hate working out. I hate going to the gym. That makes me even less likely to go. That makes me more so not want to go because I'm speaking negatively. So rather than speaking negatively, I said, okay, I've got to get consistent. I've got to be determined and I've got to start working out and doing what I need to do. I've got to stop falling off the bandwagon. I can go to the gym, for 6 weeks straight. And then the 7th week, I'll just have some excuse and fall off. And then after I fall off for like a few days, I'm like, okay, I didn't go this week, so I'll start over next week on Sunday. And then Sunday comes and something comes up and I'm like, okay, I'll go tomorrow. You can't do that. You cannot do that. That's procrastination, and procrastination kills your dreams and goals and ambitions. So if you have a goal of being fit and looking better and being healthier and all of that and physically stronger and all those things, you cannot be inconsistent and you cannot procrastinate. You have to do the work and put in the work. So my whole thing is, rather than saying that I hated going to the gym, I started saying to myself, it's so good that I get to go to the gym. I'm so glad that I can work out, that I'm able to work out, because I started realizing there's some people who would love to work out, but they can't. There's some people who can't walk, so they can't work out their legs. They can work out their arms. There's some people who are suffering from depression. They can't just get the energy up to go and work out. They wish they could. There's some people who's morbidly obese and they want to work out, but they feel like they can't because they weigh too much, or it's going to be such a struggle. Why even bother? Let me tell you something. Stop telling yourself those things. Those are all negative thinking points. They're all pessimistic. Be optimistic. Stop using the word hate when you're talking about things to which you have to do. I hate to go to work. Don't say you hate to go to work. Even if it's not your dream job, even if there's people that you work with that you don't want to deal with on a daily basis, don't say, I hate to go to work. When you say that, you're lowering your vibration and you're more likely to get to work and have a bad day. Think to yourself, at least I have a job. I'm so glad that I have a job. I'm grateful that I can go to work and make money to pay my bills. Because an attitude of gratitude, as I told you before, that is a mindset. Being thankful. You do something for me and I say, oh, thank you, beloved. That's one thing, right? That's showing that you appreciate what the person did. But an attitude of gratitude is a mindset. When you have the attitude that you're thankful and grateful and appreciative of the things that you encounter, the things that you learn from even bad experiences, from even bad relationships, when you can start looking at the bright side of things, more so, if you start seeing the glass is half full rather than half empty, you'll see things start to turn around for you. Because here's the thing, our thoughts are magnets. Our thoughts are energy magnets. So what you think manifests into reality, and it attracts more of what you manifest. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, you're putting negative energy out there, and that negative energy attracts more negative energy, just like a magnet, and it comes right back to you. A lot of people say, oh, I was praying and God just doesn't answer my prayers. I had someone tell me a few months ago, they said, I don't think God even listens to my prayers. I pray and pray and God doesn't answer my prayers and things just don't go right for me. And I started to think that God doesn't even love me. I said, say what now? Did you just say that you don't think God loves you? I'm sorry, but the Most High does love his creations. Okay? Now, make no mistake. Some people were not created by the Most High. Clearly, they came from Satan. Okay? So I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about wicked, nefarious people. I'm talking about those of us who have the Spirit of God within us. Right? The kingdom of God is within you. So with that all being said, and again, remember, for those of you who missed it, the kingdom is up here. The kingdom. That's why they call your head a dome. Even if you look inside of a skull, if you've ever been in a biology class, so glad I found your spiritual channel, Queen. Thank you, Phyllis, beloved. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution. I'm glad you found it too. Peace and blessings. So for those of you who don't know this, if you missed the live when I spoke about this, the kingdom of God is within you. That's because it's in your mind. God is a consciousness. Okay, this is how we communicate with the Most High. So that's why when you pray, you don't have to pray out loud. You can pray in your mind, right? And so you have a spiritual connection to the Most High. The kingdom of God is within you. Now, if you've ever been in a biology class and you've seen a skull, if you turn it upside down and you look into the skull, it's actually shaped like a dome. Okay, and I told you all before that in the Bible, the allegory of Jesus being crucified on the cross, there is a crucifixion that occurs in your brain, and there's one that occurs in the universe, the cosmos. Okay, we've talked about that before, so I'm not going to get into that whole story. But at the end of the day, even when they say that Jesus died on Calvary, Calvary comes from the Latin word calvaria, which means the skull. And when they talk in the Gospels of Mark, they talk about Golgotha. Golgotha means the place of the skulls. So I'm telling you that the crucifixion occurs in the skull when you raise the Christ energy within. And now when you do this, when you rise into your higher self, you will start to notice changes in your life. You will start to notice that you can manifest things much more quickly. And as for my friend who was saying that they didn't believe that God loved them, well, the problem isn't that God didn't love them. It's that they didn't love themselves. You see, if you love yourself, you absolutely know that the Most High loves you, honey. If you have doubts as to whether or not God loves you, that's because you don't love yourself. And when you don't love yourself, that makes you insecure. So of course you'll think that God doesn't love you. You'll think that no one loves you. You can be in a relationship and you'll feel that the person you're in the relationship doesn't love you. And that's how we become depressed. Depression is a disease. And so when you have a diseased mind, when you have a mind that is not spiritually engaged, and that mind is not vibrating with the same frequency as the earth's crust, then you are then thrust into a hole. It's called depression. It's like a black bottomless pit that you have to try to claw your way out of. And it seems the more you claw and scratch and try to get out, the further you sink down into the pit of despair. And that's because your vibration is so low and you feel so downtrodden and you have no love for self. When you have love for self, you will do the work, no matter what it takes. You will do the work, because without putting in the work yourself, of course your prayers won't be answered. That's what I had to tell my friend. You see, haven't you heard from your parents or grandparents, God helps those who help themselves? Now, you can't just sit there and pray and say, oh, God, please, I need $1 million, and think that it's just going to come crashing through the ceiling and land in your lap. That's not how it works. When you pray, you have to pray with a purpose. You have to set your mind and set your intentions. You have to speak to the universe, speak to the Most High. You have to become one with the Most High. You have to be in tune with your inner self, your spiritual self. You have to have high vibrations. And when you're saying these things, when you're praying for these things that you want, you have to speak them as though you already have them. You have to be very definitive about what you are saying and what you are praying about. And you have to be consistent. See, some of you probably only pray when things go wrong, when things get bad. All right, now you want to start praying. You're about to lose your job. You know the boss is about to fire you because they're tired of your BS. So now you start praying, God, please don't let them fire me. Please don't let me lose my job. God, please. I have to pay my mortgage. I can't pay my car note if I lose my job. God, please. Now you want to start praying? No. That's why I always tell you, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And that's the same thing as it pertains to prayer. You should be praying at least once a day. You don't have time for the Most High? The Most High always has time for you. So that's one of the reasons people feel like their prayers are not being answered, because they're not praying with a purpose. They're not setting their intentions. They're not praying with faith and belief and trust that the Most High can grant them whatever they want. They're not praying with the knowledge that they can manifest these things themselves. The Most High has made you a vessel, and the Most High operates to you and through you. So with that all being said, you can manifest your own destiny. All you have to do is start setting your intentions, doing spiritual practices daily, trying to raise your vibrations, being more in tune with nature and the Most High universe, and all of those things. Now, let me just tell you a few spiritual practices that you can do daily. You can ground yourself, walking through the park barefoot, hugging the trees, listen to the birds sing, as I told you, gazing into the sun for a few minutes. That absorbs energy right into you and boosts the energy and lifts your spirits and your frequency. You can do those things. You can meditate. Meditation is key. Meditation is very important. And the reason it's so important is because meditation calms, soothes, and relaxes the mind. Our minds are often very chaotic. Just think about all the things that you go through in 8 hours of the day, let alone 24. You have to get up in the mornings. You have to drive through traffic. Sometimes you're sitting in traffic. You're in a rush. You get to work. The boss may be getting on your last nerve. That coworker that's beside you listening to music without their earphones on, you need them to cut it off. I mean, you can just be going through a myriad of things. So you have to absolutely set your intentions. Start your day off being high vibrational, speak positively, and think positively, and things will fall in place. You have to have an attitude of gratitude. You have to be willing to do the work and all of these things. You have to meditate. Meditation soothes the mind. That's how you get rid of all the clutter and the chaotic thoughts that we have. You just relax your mind and just think of peaceful things, tranquil things. Listen to meditative music. The frequency is the best frequency to listen to. I even listen to it at night. I fall asleep every night listening to meditative music. Meditative music every night. My favorite is Native American flute music. And I happen to think that the reason that's my favorite is because that's what my Native American ancestors, what they listened to. The indigenous people of Turtle Island. Those are my ancestors, and many of yours, they're your ancestors too. Reggie said native flute. Absolutely. Reggie says yes, and deep breaths. Yes. Your breathing, the way that you breathe is very important. Some people don't realize that. But the way that you breathe is absolutely very important. Okay? And so you need to practice your breathing. Hey, Mark Ayers from the UK, beloved. You need to practice your breathing. You need to practice focusing your thoughts and speaking positively, not only to yourself, but to others. And what you have to do, that's very important, what we all have to stop doing, because I get caught up doing this sometimes. We have to stop allowing others to dictate our moods. There's some people, they can't stand to see you happy. I had someone, in fact, tell me a few months ago, someone told me that a person at their job literally came up to them and told them that they get on their nerves. And my friend was like, why do I get on your nerves? What did I do? Well, you're just always too positive. You're just too positive. I'm sorry. How can someone being positive get on your nerves? Why would that be a nuisance? Because my friend's always smiling, always upbeat, cheerful, and happy, always saying something nice. A very nice person. This is one of the nicest people that I know. So when someone said to her that you're just too positive, well, that told me this person is too negative. And I told my friend, you need to limit your talking time with them. You need to stay away from them and feed them off a long-handled spoon. Because here's the problem. Your spirit is aggravating their demons. They're on demon time. They have low vibrational demonic energy. And you have a Christ-like energy because you've risen into your Christ-like higher self. So with that all being said, that is a problem for the devil. This person's a whole devil. Anyone that is annoyed because you're happy, they're devils. That's absolutely what it is. Okay? Ira said, I've had people tell me that I'm too calm. Now, why would they be mad because you're too calm? They want you to act crazy. They want you to curse and yell and scream and be hostile and aggressive. That's the energy they want you to give off. And let me tell you something about those type of people. People who say things like that, they'll sometimes purposely do things to set you off. They'll find out how to push your buttons and they'll try to do exactly that. That's why you can't fall off your square. You cannot allow people to dictate your mood. And let me tell you something. If somebody's trying, I'm going to tell you like this. If someone is trying to get on my nerves and I know it, that's the last thing they're going to do. Like when trolls come into the chat, right? When trolls come into the chat on my other channel, they're trying to get on your nerves. They're trying to get on my nerves and your nerves. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be having the conversation that you're having, obtaining the information that you're being given. So they want to cause, discord, right? That's because they want you to be low vibrational, because trolls are low vibrational. That's what that is. Misery truly does love company. It's a fact. So there's some people who purposely try to lower your vibrations. And let me give you an example. I have someone in my family. I'm not going to say who because they're probably watching, but they know who. They'll know who, even though I'm not going to say their name, but I don't want everybody else in the family to know. So I'm going to say it like this. I have a person in my family. This is what they told me one day. One day I was talking to them about how negative they are and how they love to argue. And I found myself arguing with them. Every time I would talk to them, it turns into an argument. I would call them in such an upbeat, positive, happy mood, feeling so good. And within 10 minutes into that conversation, they have lowered my vibration. And now I'm up here going back and forth with them. And then when I get off the phone, I'm asking myself, how did this go left? Because I clearly was in a good mood. That's a psyche vampire. And I talked to you about these people before. They suck the energy out of you. They absorb your energy. These people are demonic. They have demonic energy. I don't care what anyone says. And let me tell you what this person told me one day when I was talking to them about their negativity and their argumentative ways. I told them, I can't talk to you every day. I have to take you in small doses. I cannot take you every day because they would call me every day. And then I wouldn't answer the phone. And so then one day when I answered the phone after the third day of not talking to them, they were like, you sit over there and play possum. You won't answer the phone when I'm calling you. I said, listen, I don't want to talk to you every day. I don't need to talk to you every day, and nor do I want to. And they said, well, why not? I'm just calling to check on you. I said, I appreciate that, but I don't want to talk to you every day because you're low vibrational. You're always argumentative. You're so negative, and I cannot deal with it. I don't like to argue, and you apparently do. And I said, you, in fact, don't just argue with me. You argue with numerous other people in the family. You know what they told me? They said that we all had bad attitudes. They said it wasn't them. I mean, they're clearly a narcissist, and they're a Virgo. They're a Virgo. Now, I'm sorry for any Virgos in the chat. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But what I'll say is this. Everyone that I know personally who is a Virgo is absolutely a narcissist. Now, maybe it's just me. Now, I'm not saying all Virgos are narcissists, so don't get it twisted, people, if you're Virgos, like I said. But every Virgo that I happen to know personally is a narcissist. And I find that to be amazing because I'm a Pisces. And so I'm naturally attracted to Virgos. Reggie said, I'm a Virgo, but that don't apply. Good, beloved, good. Louise said, Virgos are supremely controlling. Yes, not you though, Reggie. We're not talking about you, beloved. But yes, some of them are absolutely controlling, and that's because they're narcissists. Narcissists are controlling. They want everything to go the way they say, and that's it, and that's all. You don't get to have a say-so. It's what I said, and that's it. My way or the highway. But this relative of mine, they're a Virgo. And so you know what they told me one day? Nicole said, I can't deal with those types either, Queen. So exhausting. Yes. MDC Forever says, not me, Queen. Okay, beloved. Elvis says, sounds like your friend. Probably is. So I'm going to tell what they told me, though. When I told them that they argue with all of us in the family, they said, oh, you all just have bad attitudes. Okay, so it's us. We're the problems. I said, I don't think it's us at all. I don't think it's us at all. Because I have one family member who doesn't even curse. When, attends one of those sanctified churches, always has. Attends a sanctified church, doesn't ever raise her temper. Never have I heard her ever curse in my life. And not even argue with anyone, but she argued with him. Now, you have to be low vibrational to make my Auntie Wanda argue. Because my Auntie Wanda doesn't argue. She's the sweetest person, the sweetest soul. So now with that all being said, I told this person, I said, listen, you even argued with Aunt Wanda. Honey, I've never seen anybody in my life argue with Aunt Wanda. She's just such a good Christian, such a saved and sanctified soul. Honey, how do you even argue with her? You know what this person told me? This is what I knew exactly who I was dealing with, honey. The devil himself. This person told me, sometimes I argue with you all on purpose. I purposely start arguments with you. I said, why would you do that? What kind of nefariousness is this of which you speak? Who wants to purposely start an argument? That's what they said. Sometimes I do it on purpose. I get a kick out of it. Honey, when they told me that, I heard enough. And they didn't need to tell me anything else. And I knew exactly who they were, the devil himself. You see, the devil does that. The devil sends his minions, the demons, to do that. Cause chaos, pandemonium, right? Discord. So that's who you are. If you're someone who loves to start arguments and you get a kick out of it, let me tell you something. I don't like to argue. Arguing makes me drained. It makes my head hurt. It raises my blood pressure. It makes me feel tired and drained of energy. I'm completely drained sometimes. So once they told me that, I was like, you know what? Now I'm really going to limit myself to this person. I'm going to limit myself to them. And if at any point that I'm speaking to them and it looks like they're trying to take it there, I'm going to politely hang up that phone. Peace and blessings, beloved. You have a blessed and wonderful day. I will talk to you later. I love you. That's how I get off the phone with them. Because what you're not going to do is lower the Queen's vibration study. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to stress me out. Okay? You are not going to keep me from reaching my higher self every day. That's what you're not going to do. All right? Terry Brown Sugar Melon says, and Queen, I have an older sister that's a Pisces. Okay. Amir says body work. Absolutely. Ria said there are many people like that. Yes, they're sick. Yes, there's something wrong with people like that, for real. There's something wrong with any person who wants to make someone mad. Why would you want to make someone mad? Why would would you want to just disrupt someone's day, lower their vibrational frequency, just make them feel bad and make them miserable? That's because you're miserable. Happy people, I want you to pay attention because this is a known fact. Happy people do not hate on other people. Happy people do not go around starting arguments and sowing seeds of discord, keeping up mess. Happy people are the nicest people in the world. Because when you're happy, your vibration is so high. The highest vibration is love. The lowest vibration is hate. And that's why I said I had to stop saying, I hate going to the gym. I hate going to work. I hate this job. That's a very strong word, and clearly it lowers your vibrations. And if you're trying to stay positive and upbeat, then you should remove that word. Find another word to use. Now, you can still use it when you're talking about a hater. Oh, that's a hater right there. That's a hater. Yeah, point the haters out. Point the haters out. But as for yourself, when you're speaking about things to which you have to do, like going to work, working out, just paying bills, don't say you hate it. Some people say, oh, I hate paying bills. Well, don't say that. Careful what you say. If you say you hate paying bills, honey, the universe might hear that you don't want to pay bills, and the universe will make it so you can't pay those bills. Pay attention, honey. The universe is listening. And so that's why you have to speak things, with intentions. You have to say things that you really want. You have to focus on the things that you want, not the things you don't want. I'm going to tell you something else we do. We are guilty of it. We sit around sometimes and we focus our energy and efforts on things that we do not want. That's not what you need to do. Because if you focus your energy on things you do not want, you're going to get more of that. You're going to get more of that. Rather than focusing on what you don't want, focus on what you do want. And think about how you're going to behave and act or react when you get it. And speak about it and think about it as if it's already happened. Do that. Because remember, whether you think you can or you can't do something, you're absolutely right. So if you sit there and you say, oh, I can't do this, I'm never going to be able to do this. Well, you sure won't. You just talked yourself out of it right there. You just already said, you already gave up. You're already defeated. As soon as you say, I can't, that's one of the least favorite phrases. I can't. I don't like to use that term ever. And try. I don't like that word, try. Oh, I'm going to try. I'll try to do it. No, either you're going to do it or you're not. I don't like to use that word try. That's just me. I'm not saying you have to feel that way. But those are two things that I don't like to say. I can't and I'll try. Try is almost like a defeated phrase itself. If you say, I'll try, that's almost like saying that you're second guessing yourself. Like you don't think you can. Like you don't think you can do it. Oh, I'll try. I'm going to try to get there. That's like you already given up. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it. Rather than saying, I'll try to get there, so I'll be there. I'll be there with bells on, honey. I'll be there, right? And making a concerted effort to do it. Stop saying, I can't. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, that's absolutely true because you spoke that into existence. So you have to keep these things in mind. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Influenor says, I think there are some cultural issues going on too. As a group, Black people have never really learned how to communicate within our group. We were taught to hate each other by the enemy. Yes, that's very true. That is very true. Erin says, I'm estranged from my daughter because of it. Hold on. Because she was making me miserable and the rest of the family. She has no respect for anyone and quick to fight. I only look out for her from afar. You know what? Let's talk about that really briefly. Sometimes there's people in our family, and often it can be our parents, it can even be our children, that they just are so disagreeable, so low vibrational, that we just don't want to be bothered with them because they lower our vibrational frequency. They just make us feel miserable. They're so hard to get along with. Let me tell you something. They've likely picked up some negative energy from some malevolent spirits. And so what I would say for that is to pray for your daughter. And any of you who have people like that in your lives, pray for them. Speak positively to them and about them. give them positive affirmations. You know, here's the thing. When they say something nasty or negative or whatever, don't feed into it. Because sometimes those spirits that they're battling with, those demons that they're fighting, will make them say things just so you can give them a negative reaction. Because now they realize, hey, I've just lowered your frequency, right? So rather than do that, when they're saying something negative or behaving foolishly or whatever, say something positive. Because what you can't do is allow them to lower your frequency and dictate your mood. So you want to say something nice to them, especially if it's your child or someone in your family that you love and care about. Just pray for them, speak positively over them, manifest their healing, because they need a spiritual healing and a spiritual cleansing. Okay, and maybe and likely they're eating toxic food and drinking toxic beverages. They may be having some other toxic behaviors or habits going on. All of these things add up and accumulate and make people low vibrational. Sometimes they don't even realize their own toxicity, and then they want to spread it on to other people because it's clearly, contagious. Low vibrational energy is contagious, as well as positive energy is contagious. Energy itself is contagious because, as I told you numerous of times, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It is only transferred and transformed from one thing to another. So if you have someone who is very disagreeable, if you have someone who's always just negative and low vibrational, always wanting to fight and all of this, speak positively to them. Use reverse psychology, because they're doing things because they want a reaction. They want to rise out of people. And they know what they're doing sometimes. Sometimes they don't know because the demons are taking hold. So with that all being said, speak positively to them, even if they're cursing you out. You know what, beloved? I'm going to let you have that. I'm going to pray for you, and I hope you feel better. Peace and blessings. That's how I end, honey. When somebody's trying to argue with me now, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you. Peace and blessings. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Peace and blessings. At the end of the day, wish that upon them. Speak positively on them and be positive when engaging them, because energy is contagious. Eventually, whether they want it or not, your positivity is going to bounce onto them. It's going to latch onto them because energy is contagious. See, here's the thing. They come at you with negative energy, and they're trying to put that on you, and it's contagious. So you fall into it because you're not thinking. You automatically, they say or do something that triggers you, and now you're negative. Don't let them flip the script. Don't let them do that to you. You flip the script. When they're being negative, you be positive. Say something positive. Speak life upon them. What are they going to say? Argue with you because you're wishing them well? Say, beloved, do you mind if I pray for you for a second? Let's have a prayer. What are you going through? Ask them questions. What are you going through? Is everything going okay? Is there anything I can help you with? Just talk kind to them. Speak life into them. Tell them you love them. I'm just trying to help things to be better for you. You do realize that your negativity is drawing more negativity. This is why things are not going right in your life. And you already know things are not going right in their lives, honey, because like I said, happy people don't behave that way. Happy people are not walking around throwing negativity everywhere and spewing it everywhere and saying hateful words and all that and being pessimistic. Happy people are optimistic, and they're walking around spreading love and joy. Love is the highest vibration. So don't let them bring you down off your pedestal of consciousness, right? Your high vibrational frequency. Don't let them drag you on down to the pits where they are. Try to rather lift them up. Okay, try to lift them up to your level. Don't stoop to theirs. Try to lift them up. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. I want to thank you all for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. Please make sure you like and share this video. I'm going to be going live on this channel weekly now. You know, this channel is very important. It lifts my spirit when I know that I'm lifting your spirits. And I'm appreciative for everyone who tunes in and that people have requested this channel. And, you know, many people have told me this is their favorite channel because the other things we talk about are often low vibrational, but they have to be spoken about. We have to address these issues. We have to talk about these things. And sometimes these conversations are hard and sometimes we are traumatized by these things. So we need an outlet. So I'm going to have to be on here at least, 2 or 3 times a week, giving you your spiritual vitamins. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to do that. I'm not going to say I'm going to try. I am going to make a conscious effort to do that. That's what you say. Don't say you're going to try. That sounds like you already lost the race. I'm going to make a conscious effort to do that. With that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Judah Queen says, thank you, Queen. Great spiritual broadcast. Thank you, beloved. Thank you all for your kind words. I love you all to life. Enjoy the rest of this day. Stay high vibrational, motivational. Be the evolution that you want to see. Be the change that you want to be. With that all being said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. And until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.